about the Labour Party and some of the issues that are being generated now in the exit of Dr. Toyin Okupe as the Director General of the Presidential Campaign Organization. Let's speak to the spokesperson of the Labour Party campaign organization, Mr. Yunus Tanko. He joins us live via Zoom, virtually from Uyo, the capital of Akwa Ibom State. Thank you so much, Dr. Tanko, for joining us tonight. And give us an understanding, the news of Dr. Okupe being sentenced to prison yesterday. How does this come to your campaign?
Well, to say the truth, it came as a rude shock to all of us. And I must say here that Dr. Toyin Okupe is an exceptional Democrat who believes in the rule of law, who is working very hard to ensure that Nigeria is taken back to the hands of the people. So immediately when we got this particular news, it took us aback normally as a group of people. But you have to remember that this movement is not about one person. It's a collective interest of everybody who want to take back Nigeria to the hands of the Nigerian people. So it only will strengthen us. We will look within ourselves and take the right decision at the highest level. As we speak, the campaign council is yet to meet to take a decision on what has happened. And we, on our part, will remain resolute and determined to continue on our sojourn in order to change the narrative and getting 133 million Nigerians out of poverty. This is the target of our principal and his vice, Deti Baba Ahmed. And you also recall that he made this particular statement in the same Uyo yesterday as regard to the fact that we know that there have been a syndicated attack from a lot of our opponents, starting from the registration point for the PVC and then collection, destruction of property, and then eventually killing of our people. And so we've already called on the local and international community to look at this syndicated attack on the persons of our own collective interest, and as a political party and as a movement. We are not going to be deterred, are not going to be also be intimidated by anybody or any action of a group of people. Because for us, Nigeria is our target, and getting Nigeria back on the right track is what we believe that we are going to do. And so we will continue to move on.
Yeah. So immediately, are you having any consideration for our replacement for Dr. Toyin Okupe? Are there names that you're considering? Because we are hearing a few names. Can you tell us who are those that you're considering for that role?
Now, we have not officially made pronouncement as even regard to the resignation that you read out early on this particular show. Until when the campaign council meet and they will take a decision on what to do and how to do it next. So those particular names probably will also be speculation until when the campaign council meets, because you see, we are not an independent person, but one singular person will take a decision. It is a collective decision for the interest of the Nigerian people.
Was the campaign or Mr. Obi considering sacking Dr. Okupe? Or, I mean, what was the thinking of the campaign when the judgment came about yesterday?
When the judgment came, we only went back into our drawing board to look at the plus or minuses of this particular pronouncement and looking at it with the view of how we come stronger out of it. But there was no particular decision that was made in regard to this particular situation. But the decision by Dr. Toyin is a personal one. He took it on his own merit as a true Democrat who knows that it's a collective interest, and then he decided on his own to make those particular pronouncements that you saw in the letter. But collectively, the campaign council, all the parties have not made any pronouncement as regard to that. But only our presidential candidate who made it clear that nothing would deter him from continuing to study on, to continue to fight for the Nigerian people, continue to fight for the soul of the Nigerian people, continue to fight for the collective interests of Nigeria and ensure that Nigeria is back on track. This is the collective target, and we are not derailing from that.
Let's look at this from the perspective of those Nigerians who are your followers, the obedience, the Peter Obi lovers, the Labour Party followers and supporters. How much of a dent do you think that incident of yesterday is for the Labour Party, Peter Obi brand, and your aspiration of leading this country as a movement or as a political party?
Well, it may shock you to know, Seun, that the obedient movement and our followers and our party members know ab initio that those who have held us down for so long will not relent in their efforts in order to manipulate the system or attack us or gag us or kill us. So they are already prepared. They have prepared their mind as regard to the challenges that will be on us. So they have made up their mind. And you can see from some of the things that they've been doing, even when they were being intimidated, come out of it stronger. Even when they are being attacked, they come out of it stronger. Even when some of our people are being killed, they come out stronger. So this particular one will only strengthen us and make us stronger as a collective. So that is the kind of stuff the Nigerian obedient movement are made of, both locally and internationally.
Yeah.
They will call...
Dr. Tango, do you see this as an attack or a political gimmick against your party or the obedient movement?
Well, I see it as a way in which they are trying to demarcate and probably the focus that we have. But we have said it, that there will be a point in which we will have to look, although we are making submissions to the Nigerian police, the Nigerian army, and the Nigerian government as regard to the series of attacks that we're receiving, both on cyber, physical, and on the media. But at the same time, too, our people are not going to be docile and wait until when we are already been eliminated in the field. No, Nigeria belongs to all of us, and no level of intimidation will be acceptable by us. So we are saying, as a sound of warning, that it is good that these people should resent from attacking us or killing us or maiming us or trying to shame us or trying to intimidate us. This will not be acceptable to all of us. But it is very important that the Nigerian state take very closer look at these particular attacks that has already been on us, and making sure that those who have been arrested have been brought to book, and then major announcements should be made as regard to those who are involved in this heinous crime.
So I'm actually asking, and perhaps trying to get some clarification, because this trial of Dr. Okupe did not start last week or 2 months ago. These are several months of trial, which culminated into a judgment that we saw yesterday. And so that was the reason I asked the question. When you say that this is an attack on the obedient, the judgment of yesterday, perhaps you didn't get my question properly. So it was a trial,
yes,
that's come several years coming now, and so this is I don't know the position of Dr. Okupe as of now, whether he's appealing the matter or is leaving it as it is. Because what the court has said is that what is done is a violation of the Money Laundering Act, which is a criminal offense in Nigeria, and that is what the court says he is being indicted of. So are you saying that that judgment is an attack on the obedient or the aspiration of your party to lead Nigeria in 2023?
Well, Seun, looking at the historical point of view of this particular situation and the judgment passed, it seems to us it's just a pick-choose judgment, considering the fact that the major culprit or the major accuser of probably those who gave the money are already living free in the streets of Nigeria. We don't even know where that particular person is. I'm talking in respect of Sambo Dasuki, who was allegedly to have given this particular money to Dr. Doyin Okupe. And the truth is this. Now, he himself has been set free. He has not been convicted. that is the person that was said to have given this particular money. But here you are, the somebody that's already been alleged to have collected is being convicted. So that for us sounds very, very, very funny, because you cannot put something on nullity. And then that was why we are turning into a syndicated attack to us. Looking at the veracity of the claim and the allegation, those who are supposed to have given the money are still living free. And those who have been collecting have been involved in drug addiction, drug baron, those who have been involved in corruption, even at the highest level, those who have been leading the action of violence have not been touched. That must us to start thinking that this particular decision or the judgment of the court as another judgmental attack on the pick and choose on our own leadership. And then when you look at it critically, you will examine the fact that those particular people who are supposed to have been judicially been convicted were not convicted. So how is it that at this point and at this moment in which when we are soaring high, and then they are making those particular judgments in order to demarcate us? So those are the reasons why we say it's a syndicated attack, both physically, on the cyber, both humanitarian, and then at the same time, now using the legal means.
My final question to you tonight, Dr. Yunusa, is that for the maxim which says that he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. And with this indictment of your Director General, a Director General is perhaps a leader of your campaign. And so you've said so many things to Nigerians in your campaign, how you handle this and handle that, the promises you've made to Nigerians. What would you be telling them tonight for those who perhaps have not made up their mind to be obedient, those who are thinking what Labour Party, Peter Obi, and the leaders of this movement have in store for them? How do you explain to them in the face of this indictment of your Director General, though he has stepped down, and whether or not they should believe your campaign and what it holds for Nigeria in the face of the challenges that it's faced with?
Well, quickly, I want first of all thank them for remaining being dogged, because already they have prepared their mind. They knew that there's going to be attack. And so they have resigned themselves to continue to fight. In fact, I've read Twitters on fact that, look, if you are going to do this, then do it on all the other candidates who already have cases in the courts. So they have already prepared their mind. But we want to call on them to remain determined, to remain dogged, that our candidate is determined to continue to fight for their rights and for this particular country. And that is exactly what they want. And if that is what they want, they should redouble their effort in trying to make sure that they go out en masse to vote for Peter Obi as the candidate of the Labour Party, and Dr. Baba Ahmed as the vice presidential candidate. Because these are the people who will fight for you.
Dr. Yunusa Tanko, spokesperson of the Labour Party and Peter Obi Dati Presidential Campaign Council. Thank you so much indeed for talking to us tonight.
God bless Nigeria.